tingin nyo, how much of the situation now with China, kumbaga, it's growing, it's becoming even more belligerent, no? Mas binubuli yung Pilipinas. At sabi nyo, nagkakaroon infiltration ng People's Liberation Army tsaka mga spies masquerading as pogo workers dito sa Pilipinas. Taken together, no? Sa tingin nyo, how much of this situation that we're seeing now is caused by the former administration, by the former president, na talaga naging very, very friendly sa China?
No, I don't think so. This has been going on for years. This has been going on for years. We've been very lax. Ang problema sa ating gobyerno, regardless of the administration in charge, we are easily infiltrated because our people are either incompetent or corrupt. Paano nakakapasok itong mga ito? Sandadaan muna. Immigration, di ba? O tapos sino nag-escort sa kanila? Yung mga pulis o yung mga ex-military. Walang kinalaman yan sa incumbent administration. Ano yan? These guys are mercenaries. They're doing this for money. And there's lack of patriotism there. And on top of that, there is no supervision at all. The gatekeeping is terrible. No? And this is a problem that is experienced by all administrations, including ours during the time with President Ramos. That's why we undertook a house cleaning campaign. But I don't think that was continued on a systematic basis by succeeding administrations. Kaya here we are, no? What I'm trying to say is this: if you read the security papers of the United States, Japan, Australia, Canada, they're very alarmed at the actions of China, and in tandem with Russia, no? And then if you get to listen very carefully to President Marcos, Secretary Teodoro, Secretary Ed Año, they're quite alarmed. They're raising the alarm about the escalating tensions in the South China Sea, and all of these harassments and coercive behavior of China. And the question now is the leadership harnessing the whole of government to be aligned with that thinking, to prepare ourselves better for worst case scenarios that may come our way. And if the global security analysts are correct, that trouble is coming our way in this region within the next 2 years or so, then what are we doing? What are we doing to protect our populace, our society? Because if we don't make them aware of what's going on, if they're not fed the right information at the right time, they cannot be harnessed for national defense, or even for that matter, civil defense. They cannot be a good partner to the government, who is probably more aware of the situation, but is not unwilling to say so to the public for whatever reason. No?
Okay.
But I've been listening very carefully to what President Bongbong has been saying, Secretary Gilbert and Secretary Ed Año, and I hear them. I hear them.
Sige, sir. Pupuntahan natin yung mga ginagawa ng kasalukuyang administrasyon ngayon, no? And then I think you would agree with me na yung environment ngayon under the Bongbong Marcos administration mas open. Mas marami nakakapagsalita doon sa pambubuling ginagawa ng China. Tama po ba?
That's correct. As a matter of fact, the Coast Guard has applied a very good strategy. And they're in other words, they're fighting information warfare in a better way now than before. They are putting the spotlight under the Chinese, recording every misdeed that they're doing in the South China Sea. And our media here on land, some of them are conscientious enough to report what the Chinese are illegally doing in our country.
Yes,
That's
sir.
good. That's good.
Oo nga. Oo, kasi nga, from where I'm sitting, nakikita ko parang nagkakaroon din ng house cleaning ngayon yung Marcos administration. Kasi nga, pasensya na kayo, no? Parang hirap naman pakawalan nung Duterte administration doon sa mga ginawa nila in favor of China. At marami dito sa mga viewers natin hindi ma-accept yung idea na yun. Kasi nga, he was very friendly to China. He opened the country to China. He allowed pogos to actually proliferate. And then, parang hirap yata tanggapin para sa marami na walang
Yeah, I just want to say, please don't apologize to me. You have nothing to apologize for to me, because as far as I'm concerned, I'm an ordinary citizen, and I can see exactly what the mistakes were during the Duterte administration, whether it was meant or not meant. The consequences were this, no?
What were these mistakes from your perspective?
Well, yung sinasabing pivoting to China, no? Christian, you must understand how geopolitics is played, and sometimes what the political leaders do or say is not exactly done in a straight line, no? Sometimes they work in crooked lines, and that means playing the game for as long as the purpose is to uphold or protect the national interest. Okay? At that particular point in time, there were two. I'm not trying to explain for Duterte. He can explain for himself. But this is my discernment. At the time that he took over as president, he had personal issues with the United States. Personal yun. Pero pagdating sa policy, it held. Notwithstanding the fact that he was threatening the cancellation of the VFA, eventually binalik niya. And then he invested a lot of money in modernization of the armed forces. Hindi niyo alam siguro, baka you're not privy to mga comments niya na midway through his administration, ang narinig ko from his insiders, cabinet secretaries, he was very much aware that China would not be persuaded to ease up on the Philippines.
Okay. Pero how do you explain yung mga public pronouncements niya na sinasabi niya?
I will not explain for him. He should explain for himself.
Hindi, kasi
I was never his advisor, so please don't ask me.
Yes, sir. I know. But someone actually supported him before, no? Don't worry.
No. That I don't like that. Christian. I don't like that assumption. Supported, because I've been attacked by so many people here. Alunan adored this guy that he could do no wrong. I don't like that assumption that I was his supporter. In that sense, okay.
Policy?
I supported the policy of protecting the national interest. Okay.
So
and that protection included keeping our allies.
Oh.
But nobody asked me then. Nobody asked me then. Everybody was looking at Duterte. But I was on the side of the De Lorenzana, where we were sticking to the national interest and making sure that we strengthened our alliances.
Yeah. Kasi nga,
so let's keep it that way. Let's keep it in that perspective.
Yeah, I understand. Kasi nung panahon ni President Duterte, I was also in touch with some people from within. Na sinasabi nila, kahit yung mga public pronouncements ni President Duterte, obviously favoring China, merong stability from within the military and from the defense establishment. Di ba?
Yeah.
Tama ba?
Christian, can you do me a favor? We're talking about the grand scheme of China here. Let's not focus on the past, okay? Let's focus on the present and on the future. What we can do to defend ourselves against China. Can we do that?
Yeah.
Because we're doing our audience a disservice by keeping them rooted in the past without looking at the present and working for their future security and safety and survival. Can we do that?
No, don't worry, sir. Papunta tayo dyan, no? Kasi nga, hindi naman pwedeng parang bibigyan natin ng free pass, no? Yung nakaraang 6 na taon, no? Kasi honestly,
he did not commit any crime by working with China, for example. That was no different from what the Americans were doing. The Americans were in bed with China. They built China to where it was. Come on, that's geopolitics. And then who are our top 3 trading partners? China, United States, and Japan. You're going to let go of number 2 trading partner? What's going to happen to the economy? What's going to happen? It will worsen the poverty in this country. So you have to think of those things about the national interest. You cannot just be one-sided.
No. don't worry, hindi naman ganoon ka black and white yung perspective ko diyan personally, no. Kanina binabanggit niyo, 'di ba, dun sa post niyo, China is bent on going to war. Yung binabanggit niyo na 'yon, no, pwedeng ginagamit din siya ng mga propagandists in favor of China because I'm sure you've heard of this, 'di ba? In the past until now, sinasabi nila pag nanindigan sa China, gusto ba nating makapaggera sa China? Don't you think yung realidad na sinasabi nyo that China is bent on going to war could actually feed that kind of narrative that we're also seeing now?
I don't get your point. I go along with the saying na I am friends to all right? I'm enemy to none, all right? But my friendship, my behavior towards you depends on your behavior towards me. Now, I don't give much credence to what China says. I place my observations on its behavior and the patterns of its behavior. And so far, which we are seeing very clearly that they cannot be trusted.
Kung nagustuhan niyo po itong video na ito, paki-like at share na lang po para mas marami pang makakita at makapanood. Kung gusto niyo po makibalita, follow niyo na rin po ako sa aking mga social media accounts na nakasulat po sa screen. Pwede rin po kayo magpadala ng super thanks, super like, super chat at super sticker sa YouTube, saka Facebook stars po. Alam niyo po, malayo po mararating ito para makagawa pa po kami ng mas maraming video na makatutulong po sa pagpapakalat ng tamang impormasyon para sa bawat Pilipino. Kada like, subscribe, follow at share ay pagsuporta po sa tunay na independent journalism sa bansa. Maraming salamat po.